Hello, ladies. It is Tiffany of Clarity, Confidence, Courage, and I am a women's life coach that helps divorced women rebuild their lives by getting crystal clear on their desires, building up their confidence and their courage, and taking action steps towards the life they want to have. Today, we're going to talk about 5 major lessons I learned after my divorce that I know will help you as well. So be sure to share, like, and subscribe, and let's jump into this content. So today, ladies, I really want to talk about the lessons that I learned after my divorce and how they really helped me to become a businesswoman, become an entrepreneur, do the things that I really want to do, and really move forward on my next path of my life after the divorce was over. The first biggest lesson that I learned after my divorce was that I am a powerful creator and I can create the life that I really want to have. You see, the reason why I say this was a major lesson for me is because after I got divorced, I really sat down and reflected. I'm like, how did I get myself into this situation? And the biggest thing that I realized was I got myself into that marriage because I wanted to be in that marriage. I was the one that created that life for myself. I was the one that attracted that mate to myself. He was the one that I really wanted to be with because at the time, I was the type of person that thought that that particular person, that marriage, how we lived our life was good enough. I literally manifested him. I manifested that life. I manifested that behavior. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to victim shame or say that it's the victim's fault when things are bad, especially in abusive situations. But there is a pattern to certain types of behaviors and people that we allow into our lives. There's a reason for it. It's all psychology. It's not just, it just happened. No, there is a reason. You have a pattern to your behavior. I had a pattern to my behavior. And therefore, I allowed this person to come into my life. And in my mind, I thought it was good. I thought that this was as good as I was going to get. When I was married to that person, no matter how bad he treated me, no matter what he did, in my mind, I still said, well, at least he's not like this. At least he's not like that. At least he's not a drug addict, or at least he's not doing this. I went ahead and I rationalized really inappropriate, dysfunctional behavior. And I created that, I said it was okay and I went along with it. The point is, after I got divorced, I thought to myself, if I have the power to create that, which I did, I created it, I have the power to uncreate it. And I have the power to create something else more amazing, more epic, and more wonderful. And I can create it with my thoughts. I can create it with my behavior. I can create it with my actions. I can create it by getting extremely clear on what it is that I deeply, deeply desire, how I really want to feel, what it is that I really want. And so for me, the first lesson I learned was that I have the power to create anything I want in life, any type of lifestyle that I want, because I am a powerful creator. And that is actually one of the affirmations that I say every day. I am a powerful creator. I can create anything that I deeply desire. And ladies, you can. So the first lesson you have to understand is just like you in, direct and indirect ways created the marriage that you had, you can uncreate that and you can create a new vision for yourself and a new life for yourself. The second lesson I learned, ladies, was that I had a lot of healing of childhood wounds to do. Once I got divorced and I started going to therapy, I started to see so many similarities pop up for me as far as the type of relationships that I had in my adult life and some of the relationships that I had with caregivers in my childhood. And I realized I had to really sit back and see the big picture for what it was and see how so many of my childhood wounds created a lot of dysfunction in my adult life. So the biggest lesson that I had to learn was that I had to heal some things that I didn't even realize was still affecting me in adulthood that actually started in childhood. So another lesson, ladies, sometimes you have to learn is before you jump into another relationship after your divorce, take a look at yourself, reflect, and see if there are some childhood wounds that you still need to heal. The third lesson that I learned is that happiness is an inside job. No marriage, no children, no career, no car, no new house, none of that stuff is going to make you happy if you are miserable. If you don't innately know the feeling of joy, the feeling of positivity, the feeling of just waking up in a high vibrational state of energy, of vibrancy, of being grateful and thankful for your life. If you're not that type of person, you are not going to be that type of person. No matter what you have, no matter what seems to be great things come into your life, because you're not happy. You haven't learned how to cultivate your own joy. So you can be with someone who is closest perfection, kind of close to being amazing, this great guy or whoever it is, and you can still be super unhappy. Because at the end of the day, yes, having people, having relationships, social, groups in our lives, having nice things, they can definitely add to our joy. They can add to our peace. They can add to our happiness, but they can't make you happy. You have to do the work every single day to bring joy and peace and happiness into your life, whether that person is there or not. And ladies, that's something I had to really learn. And so after I got divorced, I got on my healing journey. I started doing the things that made me feel good, that brought me joy and peace. And they weren't super big things. I'm not saying, go on some $1 million vacation every other month. What I'm saying was I had to implement habits into my life that made me feel good, a healthy lifestyle, better nutrition, networking with kind, fun, amazing human beings, amazing people. I started doing things that really made me as a single woman feel good. I started to write a gratitude list every single day. You'd be amazed at how much a gratitude list will open your eyes to how much you should be thankful for. So again, a big lesson I had to learn, happiness is an inside job. The next lesson I learned after my divorce, it took a while, but deep compassion and forgiveness. Now, ladies, I'm not saying that immediately after a divorce, especially if it was a really tumultuous marriage and there was abuse or there was a lot of things going on, that you're going to instantly be able to forgive your ex or forgive your partner. That's not at all what I'm saying. And for some of you, it may be that you never forgive them depending on what they did to you. But one thing that I learned for myself is that eventually, when I was in a place of deep peace within myself, when I had created a life that brought me joy, I was able to pull out of myself in a space, sometimes it can be big, sometimes it can be small, a place of compassion for my ex, and a place where it eventually led me to forgiveness. And again, you can have compassion for someone and not forgive them. You can forgive someone, but still not have a deep-seated compassion. So they're not mutually exclusive. The biggest issue for me was that in the beginning, I saw it from the perspective of this is this person's fault. They did this to me. They made this happen. But when I started to heal and flip it around, I realized if I allowed that person, if I gave all the fault to them, that would mean that I had no power in the situation. I had no say-so. I had no choice. And that just was not true. I did have choice. I did have say-so, and I did have power. And I allowed things to happen that I shouldn't have happened. So the first thing I had to do was have compassion and forgiveness for myself and have compassion and forgiveness for the things that I allowed. That was a big hump for me. And when I was able to have compassion and forgiveness for myself, I was able to look back and see how the person that I was married to, part of me attracting him to me was the fact that we bonded over wounds. We bonded over childhood issues that he had and I had. They were very similar. And so we bonded over the pain. And with that, I was able to see that person was actually in a lot of pain. He was taking it out on me, but he was in a lot of pain. And so that was able to help me sink deeper into compassion and eventually forgiveness. So after my divorce, I would say a big lesson I learned was how to have more compassion for all human beings, especially my ex, but all human beings, and to lean towards forgiving a little bit quicker. And just because you forgive someone doesn't mean you have to be with them again or go back to them or any of that. It just means that you allow yourself to be in a place of peace and move on with your life. And lastly, the biggest lesson that I learned was that I am worthy. I am worthy of the best. I'm worthy of the best relationships. I'm worthy of the best friendships. I am worthy of the best career. I am worthy to be my best. I am worthy to live the best life and human existence I can possibly have. I am worthy. And ladies, the reason why I want to stress this is because the reason that I ended up in the marriage that I was in is because I thought that was good enough. I thought that what that person gave me was just good enough. Like I never really asked for more. I never really, and I'm not saying ask him for more, but I never really asked of myself for more. I never really asked the universe for more. I just settled. And once I got divorced, I realized after everything I went through and I looked back and I was able to reflect, like, what was I thinking? I am worthy of so much more than what I accepted in that relationship and really what I accepted in my life at the time. And so the biggest lesson I had to learn was that I deserve the very best. But part of knowing that you deserve the best, part of feeling like you are worthy, is understanding how to love yourself, how to give to yourself, understanding your value, what you bring to the world, to the earth, really stepping into your own power and your energy, and really being open to building up your confidence, your self-esteem, seeing how important you are, seeing what the world would be like if you did not exist in it. So again, when I say I learned the lesson that I am worthy, once I got to that space, ladies, there were so many people that I deleted out of my life, that I walked away from, because I was like, you know what? This is not good enough for me, and it's not healthy, and it's not safe. There's so many situations that I walked away from because I said, this is draining my energy. It's making me feel low, and I don't want to feel that way. I'm worthy. I'm better than that. And there are so many circumstances where I had to build boundaries around myself because I finally felt worthy enough to express my boundaries, to tell people no, to say what I would not do and what I would not tolerate and what I would not stand for, and to really give myself, for my personality, the space that I needed. But ladies, that came with me understanding my worthiness. There are some people that just don't deserve to be in your life. It's the truth. When you really reflect and you think about all that you give and all that you are and how others will use that to their advantage, they'll use your kindness for weakness. Are they really worthy? Should they really be in your life? So you have to ask yourself those questions while you're on the path to discovering your worthiness. And that's what I had to learn for myself. I am worthy. And part of my worthiness is knowing that I deserve the very best in every aspect of my life, and I can have it. So ladies, those are the 5 lessons that I learned after my divorce. I hope they resonated with you. Please leave me emoji in the comments of a smiley face to let me know, Tiffany, I get it. Yes, that resonates with me. And yes, I can relate to those 5 things, or needing those 5 things in my life. Leave me a happy face emoji in the comments. Now, ladies, as always, if you're ready to step into a place of knowing your worthiness, of rebuilding your life, of building up your confidence, and truly creating a life that you really want to enjoy, especially after a divorce, then definitely click the link in the description to get on my calendar for a free discovery call, or talk about where you want to be, your challenges, and if working together is the next steps to help you move forward. All right, I hope you have an amazing life. And as always, share, like, and subscribe. Talk to you soon. Bye.